Right, let's talk about something that might make you squirm a little bit. That knot in your stomach when somebody asks for just 5 minutes and it turns out to be an hour. Or that email that you agreed to handle, even though your plate was already overflowing, and that constant, exhausting need to make everybody else happy while your own needs get pushed further and further down the list. If we haven't met yet, my name is David. I'm a mindset coach and a transformational specialist, and I work with gay men. And until very recently, I was a people pleaser, and now I consider myself to be a recovering people pleaser. Now, here's what I wish somebody had told me years ago. People pleasing isn't kindness, it's not generosity. It's a prison that you build for yourself, one yes at a time. And today I'm going to show you how to break free from it using proven mindset coaching techniques, how to start saying no and actually mean it, and most importantly, why learning to disappoint others might be the most loving thing that you can do for them and yourself. Let's talk about the hidden cost of being nice. Let me paint you a picture of what people pleasing actually costs you. It's not just about time, though that's part of it. It's about how this slow erosion of your sense of self, the constant background anxiety of trying to manage everybody else's emotions, and the resentment that builds up when you realize you've been living your life according to everybody else's agenda. Now, I learned this the hard way during a relationship that only lasted a couple of years, but there were so many different factors to it. There was other people to consider, and it was just very, very challenging and complicated. Now, I want to be clear, I don't regret 1 second of that relationship, but what I do regret is the amount of sacrifice that I made in favor of everybody else, and it exhausted me. I was constantly trying to keep everybody happy, trying to smooth over conflicts, constantly putting myself last, exhausting myself. And I thought I was being supportive. I thought I was being a good partner. But what I was actually doing was sacrificing my own sanity, my own needs, my own well being on the altar of other people's comfort. The stress levels got so intense that my body started rebelling. I wasn't sleeping, I was anxious all the time, I had this constant feeling that I was walking on eggshells. I even had chest pains at one point. And then I realized something crucial, that my people pleasing wasn't actually helping anyone. It was just enabling dysfunction while slowly killing me from the inside. It was just, yeah, crazy times. Here's the thing about people pleasing. It doesn't actually start in adulthood. You probably guessed that already. It starts when you're a kid trying to figure out how to survive in a world that feels unpredictable or harsh. For me, and I've talked about this before, it was bullying. I was constantly bullied and relentlessly from junior school right the way through to when I left school at 16. And my young brain figured out that a survival strategy was that if I could make other people happy, if I could be useful, maybe I could earn some safety and some acceptance and some validation that was worth keeping me around. I became the helpful kid, the agreeable person, the one who never caused any problems, and it worked to a degree. But what I didn't realize is that I was training myself to believe that my worth was conditional, that I had to earn the right to exist by constantly serving other people. And this is what people pleasing really is. It's not generosity at all. It's not kindness. It's a survival mechanism born from the belief that you are not enough as you are. You have to do more, you have to give more, sacrifice more, earn your place in the world. And for many gay men in our community, this pattern gets reinforced in a unique set of ways. We learn early on that being different might mean rejection, so we compensate by being exceptionally agreeable, exceptionally helpful, and we try and earn our place through service rather than simply claiming our right to belong. Now, the breaking point for my people pleasing came when I realized that I was sacrificing my own mental and physical wellness for everybody else's comfort. I started paying attention to the patterns, the triggers, the physical sensations that came with constantly saying yes when I actually meant no. What I discovered through this self improvement journey was that people pleasing is essentially emotional dishonesty. When you agree to something that you don't want to, you're not actually being kind. You're setting yourself up for a situation where everybody loses. You build resentment, the other person doesn't get your genuine enthusiasm, and the relationship suffers under the weight of this unspoken truth. So, my breakthrough came when I started getting curious about my patterns instead of just judging them. What situations made me feel compelled to say yes? What people triggered my need to people please? What was I really afraid would happen if I disappointed someone? This kind of self awareness is crucial for anyone on a personal development path, but it's especially important for gay men who may have learned early that authenticity comes with risks. Here's something that might surprise you. Saying no isn't about being selfish or unkind, it's about being honest. When you say yes to something that you don't want to do, you're lying. You're lying to the other person about your genuine availability, for example, your capacity, your enthusiasm, and you're lying to yourself about what you actually value. Every no that you say to somebody is a yes that you're saying to yourself. You're saying yes to your values, your priorities, your well being, your authentic desires. But most of us are being conditioned to believe that saying no makes us bad people. It's not true. The truth is, a clear, direct no is actually an act of kindness. It's honest communication. It gives the other person accurate information about your capacity so they can make their own informed decisions. When you say yes, but you mean no, you're setting everybody, and I mean everybody, up for disappointment and resentment. We're going to get practical. One of the biggest mistakes that people make when they're learning to say no is to over explain. Been there, done that. Worn the over explaining t shirt. They think they need to justify their boundary, provide a detailed explanation, or soften the blow with elaborate and long flowing excuses. But here's the truth: no is a complete sentence. It supports your emotional health, your authentic self, your self expression. You don't owe anyone a dissertation on why you can't do something. But I understand that jumping into a flat no can feel a little bit harsh, especially if you're recovering from people pleasing. So, here are some scripts that support both your mental wellness and respectful communication. So, one of the first things you can say is, "Thank you for thinking of me, but I have to decline this time." This acknowledges the other person while being clear about your answer. You can also try, "I'm not able to do that right now." It's simple, it's direct, there's no room for negotiation or confusion. "I apologize, but my calendar is at capacity with existing priorities." For me, I can't really recall the first time I successfully said no to something. I know I've said it a lot since then, but I can tell you what it feels like now when I do it without explanation or justification. It's empowering as fuck. It's the best thing. And here's what's beautiful about it: when you stop people pleasing, you actually become more helpful to other people who matter because your yes means something again. Now, one of the unexpected benefits of working through my own people pleasing patterns is that I can spot them immediately, and especially in other gay men that I coach now, because they'll be telling me about being overwhelmed or feeling resentful about relationships or something that feels one sided. And I'll ask, "Well, how comfortable are you with disappointing other people?" It's fascinating how we can be so blind to our own patterns while being crystal clear on everybody else's. And what I've learned is many men in the gay community have developed these people pleasing patterns as a survival mechanism. Now, I want to be completely honest with you. I said I'm a recovering people pleaser, and the recovering part is important. These days, when I can feel myself drifting into that people pleasing arena, I can catch it. I stop, pause, reflect, ask myself, what's the best option here that supports me and my growth? Now, with anything new, start small. Practice saying no to low stakes requests. The friend who wants to vent for an hour when you're exhausted, no. The colleague who asks you to cover their work when you're already behind, no. Each successful no builds your confidence, and each time you honor your own needs without the world ending, You prove to yourself that you're worth protecting. Now, I want to address something specific for gay men in our LGBTQ plus community watching this. We've often had to be extra agreeable, extra helpful, extra accommodating to earn our place in spaces that weren't even designed for us. But here's what I've learned through my own self improvement inner work: authenticity is not a luxury, it's a necessity for your emotional health. You cannot build a fulfilling life on the foundation of making yourself smaller to fit other people's expectations. You can't create genuine relationships when you're constantly performing this agreeability instead of showing up as who you actually are. When you stop people pleasing, something beautiful happens. You start attracting people that actually like you, not just what you can do for them. When you model healthy boundary setting, you're showing others that it's possible to be kind and firm, generous and self respecting, helpful and self aware. And perhaps most importantly, you start living your life according to your own values. Now, this journey from people pleaser to assertive person isn't about becoming harsh or uncaring or a bit of a bitch. It's about becoming honest. It's about aligning your actions with your values. It's about choosing conscious kindness over compulsive compliance. Some people won't like it when you start having boundaries, whatever. The people who matter, the people who genuinely care about your well being will respect your boundaries. And they might even be surprised at first, but they'll appreciate where you stand and they'll know where they stand with you. Now, if what I've shared with you today resonates with you, if you're tired of living your life according to everybody else's agenda, are tired of saying yes when you mean no, tired of the constant background anxiety of trying to keep everybody else happy. Now, I've recently created a community on the school platform called the Mindset Mentorship, and it's for gay men who are ready to stop people pleasing and start living authentically. And this isn't about becoming selfish or unkind. It's about becoming honest and assertive and aligned with your own values while building genuine self-worth. Inside the community, you'll get direct access to me for personalized mindset coaching as you navigate this transformation from people pleaser to authentic human being. You'll have resources, frameworks, courses that are focused on mental wellness and self improvement. And most importantly, you'll be surrounded by other men in the gay community who understand this journey. Now, this community exists because I believe that every man deserves to live according to his own values, not everybody else's expectations. You deserve to have your yes mean something because your no is respected. But here's the truth: the strongest, most authentic people I know are the ones who had the courage to get support and surround themselves with others. The link to join is in the description below, so stop apologizing for having needs and boundaries. Your future self, the one who speaks his truth, honors his values, and takes up space he deserves, is waiting for you to take this step.